Turning 50 wasn't what broke me. It was realizing I had spent years building a life that no longer felt like mine. One morning, I looked around my quiet apartment and thought, how did I end up this lost? But what I didn't know then was that God was about to use the loneliest season of my life to completely rebuild me from the inside out.
Welcome to God Showed Up Stories. Today's story is for anyone who feels like life didn't turn out the way they hoped. Maybe you're starting over. Maybe you feel forgotten. Maybe you've spent years surviving while quietly losing pieces of yourself. A lot of people believe new beginnings only belong to the young. But some of the most beautiful transformations happen later in life, after heartbreak, disappointment, loss, and seasons that nearly broke you. And if you've been feeling stuck lately, this story is a reminder that God can still open new doors when everything feels closed. Before we begin, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below where you're watching from. Now let's get into the story.
I never imagined I would be rebuilding my life at 50. When I was younger, I had this picture in my mind of what life would look like by this age. I thought I'd feel settled, confident, surrounded by people who loved me. Instead, I found myself sitting alone most evenings in a small apartment I could barely afford after my divorce. The silence in that place felt heavy. For years, I had poured everything into being dependable for everyone else. My marriage, my children, my job, my responsibilities. Somewhere along the way, I stopped asking myself what I needed. Then everything slowly started falling apart. My marriage ended after years of emotional distance. Neither of us knew how to fix anymore. Not long after that, the company I worked for downsized, and I lost the career I had spent over 2 decades building. I remember sitting in my car after that meeting, gripping the steering wheel, trying not to cry in the parking lot. It felt like my identity disappeared overnight. For months after that, I drifted through life feeling numb. I stopped answering calls, stopped going places, stopped believing anything good was ahead of me. I would wake up every morning already exhausted, not physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. One night, I remember sitting near my kitchen window while rain tapped against the glass. The apartment was dark, except for a small lamp beside me. And for the first time in a long time, I admitted something to myself. I wasn't just sad. I felt completely lost. I remember quietly saying, God, I don't even know who I am anymore. There was no dramatic moment after that prayer. No loud miracle. But something shifted. Over the next few days, I started noticing little things. A sunrise I normally would have ignored. A conversation with a stranger at a coffee shop. A worship song that somehow felt written exactly for me. It was like God was gently reminding me that my life wasn't over just because one chapter had ended. So slowly, I started trying again. Not perfectly, just little steps. Morning walks, reading scripture again, cooking real meals instead of skipping dinner, calling old friends back. One morning during a walk near the lake, I watched the sun rise over the water while everything around me was completely still. And standing there, I realized something that changed me. I had spent so much time grieving the life I lost that I never gave myself permission to imagine a new one. That morning became the beginning of healing for me. I started volunteering at a local community center. I reconnected with people I had pushed away. I started journaling prayers again. And for the first time in years, I felt hope returning. Not because life suddenly became easy, but because I finally stopped believing my best days were behind me. Months later, I found a smaller job that brought me peace instead of constant stress. I started smiling more, sleeping better, laughing again. Even my relationship with my adult children slowly became stronger because I was emotionally present again instead of carrying bitterness all the time. Looking back now, I realized something powerful. God didn't just restore parts of my life, He restored me. And honestly, if everything had never fallen apart, I may never have become the person I am today. So if you're watching this and you feel like life has passed you by, please hear this carefully. You are not too old for healing. You are not too broken for restoration. And you are not too late for a new beginning. Sometimes God allows old chapters to close because He's preparing you for a life that finally brings peace. And sometimes, the most beautiful seasons begin after the hardest endings.
If this story encouraged you today, comment, "God gave me another chance" down below. And if you believe it's never too late for God to restore your life, comment, "My story isn't over." Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to God Showed Up Stories, and turn on your notifications so you never miss another powerful testimony. And share this video with someone who feels like they're starting over in life right now. Thanks for watching. And remember, God always shows up right on time.